evening, everyone. I welcome you all at Defense Officers Academy, Dehradun. In today's session of Vocabulary Part 3, we will look at some idioms and its meaning also. I would also like to tell you that RIMC is all about synonyms, antonyms, phrasal verbs, and lot many things are being asked. So it is important to familiarize ourselves with vocabulary part. So keeping this in mind, I have brought some idioms for you. I hope you will enjoy this session of vocabulary. Not only that, in fact, one word substitution and obviously idioms and phrases, they all are very important as far as RIMC exams are concerned. So we will begin our session with some idioms and phrases as well. Let's look at them one by one. Please see this one. Cannot hold a candle. Okay. And I also want you to share your ideas. Okay. So cannot hold a handle means something or someone which cannot be compared to. Okay. Okay. And it is used cannot hold a candle to. This is also very important. We need to understand its usage also. So we have an example. Her latest book is readable enough, but it cannot hold a candle to her earlier work. So you can understand that her earlier work must be inferior than the present work. That is the meaning. There is another example. There is not one rock star today who could hold a candle to any of those composers. So one can easily understand its meaning. Another important thing that I want to present before you is that there is another idiom which is cannot hold a water. Okay. Cannot hold water. Now what is the meaning of this one? This is cannot hold a candle. So this is one part of the idiom. Cannot hold a water means any theory, any explanation, okay, which cannot bear the testimony, okay, which is not genuine. Okay, that is what we understand from cannot hold a water. For example, his theory on relativity cannot hold water. So we cannot consider it as a genuine one. Okay, that is the meaning. So we will look at some more idioms. At the same time, we will compare, we will try to understand what is the meaning by using them in a sentence. Let's move on. A moot point. When there is any disagreement on something, or we can say there is some dispute then we use it. Okay, a moot point. It's a moot point whether the chicken or the egg came first. Or you can say, a moot point is something which is now irrelevant. It is non-existent. Okay, that is the meaning. Okay, another example, whether Shakespeare actually wrote the poem remains a moot point among critics. So where there is any sort of debate, or where there is no one single point which is not, something which is not unanimous or which nobody agrees upon, is what we understand from this idiom. Okay, let's move to the other one. A picture is worth 1,000 words. What is the meaning? A picture conveys information more effectively than words. It's quite simple. We'll see the example. A good presentation should contain more of graphics and less of text, since a picture is worth 1,000 words. Just show him the photos and he will understand. A picture paints 1,000 words. So I think the meaning must be very much clear. Let's move on to some more. Okay. A red rage to a bull. The meaning of this idiom is to provoke somebody. Okay. An object, utterance or act that is certain to provoke someone. So it can be, spoken words. It can be an act that can provoke somebody. That is the meaning. Let's look at the example. Don't tell him you are a vegetarian. It's like a red rag to a bull. So meaning is very simple. Provoking somebody through your acts, through your words, your actions is what this idiom is all about. Let's move on. Some more words. Ball is in your court. It is up to you to make the next decision or step. The meaning is very simple. The move that you make as your next step is what is ball is in your court. I think I've done more than enough to save our marriage. The ball is in court now. So that is the meaning. Another example, we did what we could and now the ball is in your court. So the meaning is very simple, that whatever action one has to take has already taken, and now it is the up to other to make the next decision or step. Okay, let's move on. Came out of his shell to become more comfortable and friendly with people. So one can understand that when you are in your shell, you are not very confident. You are shy. You were reluctant to show up. You are not willing to show your real strength. And now you have come out of your shell. The meaning is you are more confident. Okay. So that is what it means to become more comfortable and friendly with people. Earlier, the situation was not so because you were under your shell, but now you are coming out of your shell by showing your resilience, by showing your confidence, is what the meaning of this idiom. Let's look at the examples in a sentence. It took Dan a few weeks to come out of his shell, but he is doing well now. Secondly, number 2, Deepak has really came out of his shell since he started working here. I hope you're finding them easy to understand. Let's move on with more idioms. Don't judge a book by its cover. The meaning is outer appearances are deceptive. So one cannot judge a person by its appearance only. The meaning is outward appearance cannot be an indicator of someone or something's value or worth. We may see the example. The candidate did not look very intelligent, but you cannot judge a book by its cover. So, the real worth of a person is inside, not outside. Outside appearances are always deceptive. Let's look at the other example. Do not form opinions of a person's character by looking at his appearance. You cannot judge a book by its cover. So I hope this idiom is well understood by you all. Let's move on. Dead in water. No chance of succeeding or making any progress. Example. So how does a government revive an economy that is dead in the water? Okay. And second is, without an effective leader, our plans for expansions are dead in the water. So any plans, any future plans, anything which does not have any chance of succeeding or making any progress is what we understand by this idiom. Let's move on with more. A rolling stone gathers no moss, meaning an aimless person does not have a chance to succeed in life. An aimless person cannot succeed. Examples are there. It was time for you to settle down at least 5 years back. You should find a place that you like and build a home there, because a rolling stone gathers no moss. Another example. He said that a rolling stone gathers no moss, that I would never have a family if I spent my life touring with the band. I was determined to prove him wrong. Okay. Let's move on. Hi says somebody, so I would like to say hello and good evening to all of you, those who are the part of this session of vocabulary with you all. Let's move on. A gentleman at large. What's the meaning? A person without any serious occupation, a person who does not have something substantial to do, is what we understand from this idiom. Okay? For example, having sold off his factory, he is now a gentleman at large. Meaning, the person does not have any substantial or serious thing to do now. That's the meaning. Let's move on with some more examples. Here, Ravi Shastri's reign as head coach makes him a gentleman at large. Let's move on to the next one. Under someone's thumb. Meaning, completely under someone's influence or control. When one is being controlled by other, is the meaning of be under someone's thumb. Let's look at the example. He's got the committee firmly under his thumb. They agree to whatever he asks. Next, although the job paid well, I couldn't stand the way I was under the boss' thumb. So the meaning is very simple: to be under the influence of someone or somebody. Okay, let's move on. Bear the palm means to win. I heard that you might bear the palm at the science fair. Congratulations. It would be a well-deserved victory. Second example. As he was practicing day and night, he may bear the palm in tomorrow's race. So the meaning is to win. Okay, let's move on. Catch a Tartar. To attack or oppose someone too strong for one. The meaning is that when you try to attack someone who is more powerful than you. Let's see. She finally agreed to meet with you. You just might find that you have caught a Tartar. It looks like we caught a Tartar when we tried to muscle their store out of the area. I hope that's clear. Let's move on. Cold comfort. The meaning is poor or inadequate consolation. Okay. The good news about the economy is cold comfort to people who have lost their jobs. Where there is no effect of any consolation when there is something wrong happens and someone tries to console somebody, but there is no comfort or consolation, is what it means. Let's look at the other example. The news that I got a meager raise is cold comfort after not getting that big promotion. So when you expect something and you do not get that, and something gives you a cold comfort which is very inadequate. This is the meaning. Let's move ahead. Go haywire. It's very, very important and is asked in the exam. To stop working correctly, not working in a manner that is expected you to do. For example, they told us later in the hospital that his heart had gone haywire. Another example, my printer's gone haywire, it keeps stopping and starting. So when something does not work properly or does not produce any result is what we understand from go haywire. I hope you are going well with these idioms. Let's go across and see some more. Out of thin air. From nothing as of something that has suddenly materialized. Okay? The meaning is quite simple. From nothing, I mean something which was not there, but it suddenly, turns out to be something. Okay. For his final trick, the magician pulled a bouquet of flowers out of thin air. That means to appear suddenly. You need to work hard. Opportunities don't just come out of thin air. So to appear suddenly out of nothing, so out of thin air. For example, he was not expecting any good result, but things turned out to be in his favor. So it was out of a thin air that he succeeded. Let's move on with some more words. Let's move on. Plain sailing. Okay. To be easy and without problems. When something is smooth sailing, there are no difficulties, or it's plain sailing. When everything is going well, the things are fine and there is no problem. Okay. We've got about a 13-hour road trip ahead of us, but it looks like plain sailing for most of it because there are no challenges. Second one, now that we have gotten that problem figured out, the project should be plain sailing from here on. That is the meaning. Jai Hind, somebody says, and can you please tell me your name? I welcome you in my today's session. So it's not a plain sailing to prepare for armed forces. It can, of course, with right approach, with right guidance, and with the right attitude. That is what Defense Officers Academy stand for. I must tell you this one. Lakshya Singh. Yes, Lakshya Singh. Thank you. Let's move on with some more examples. And selling like hot cakes. something which sells rapidly is what we understand from selling like hotcakes, to be sold quickly and in large quantities. For example, a particular book which is sold in large number, it's selling like hotcakes. That is what it means. Okay, let's look at the example. The 2K model cars by BMW sold like hotcakes, and it was hard to produce them by company to fulfill the demands. Was selling something very quickly, very fast. The new game is apparently selling like hotcakes. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. Let's move ahead. Let's see some more. Snow white flag. So this is very important, keeping in mind that of course you are preparing for armed forces and you must know this also. Show a white flag. The meaning is to surrender. After the prosecutors brought forward their newest evidence, the defendants showed the white flag and agreed to the plea bargain. Second example. We've been in negotiations for weeks, but it looks like the other company might finally be ready to show a white flag. So its meaning is to surrender, showing white flag. Let's move on. To steal a march. To gain an unexpected or surreptitious advantage over someone or something. When you steal a march, means you are ahead of others. This is the meaning. Let's look at the example. The retail business managed to steal a march on its competitors by signing an exclusive export agreement with Europe, having an advantage. Sir Kargil, okay. Kargil won by India. So who surrendered actually is important to understand. Okay, let's move on. I hope you are finding the session enriching, and I would like to repeat that in RIMC the vocabulary part is very important, okay, because we have synonyms, antonyms, one word substitution, phrasal verbs, idioms and phrases, what not. And if we use it in our writing will of course become more effective. That is why I have brought this session for you today. Let's move on. To take someone for a ride. One also needs to understand that its implied meaning is different from its apparent meaning. This is very important. Like to take someone for a ride, and the meaning is to cheat someone, to deceive somebody. Deceive or cheat somebody or someone. That get rich quick guru took tens of thousands of people for a ride, lining his own pockets with their investments. You've been taken for a ride. Why did you give him 5,000 rupees? So if somebody takes you for a ride, that means he deceived you, he cheated you. Let's move on with more slides. All at sea, completely confused about a subject or some task at hand. Okay, I'm all at sea with these new regulations. For example, we were all at sea by looking at the fragile economy of Africa. So that is the meaning, and of course so all at sea, completely confused about a subject, some task at hand. This is the meaning. At snail's pace, something which takes place at much slower speed is what we understand from at snail's pace, very slowly. My research is moving at a snail's pace. Every experiment I have tried so far has failed. This is the meaning. But you have to prepare your studies and your preparation not with snail's pace. Let's move on. A man of straw. A man of straw means a man having no substance. A man of no substance. You cannot count on him to help you. He is just a man of straw. You can also see some graphical representation. Straw is something which looks like, you know, very weak, very fragile. So you can understand what a person, you know, be like when he is a man of straw. That is the meaning. Let's move on with some more idioms. Apple pie order. In perfect order, if something is in perfect order, is apple pie order. And quite simple. My mother is always cleaning. The house is in apple pie order. And what about an apple of someone's eyes or someone eye? What does it mean? I want the viewers to share their thoughts with me. An apple of someone's eyes. What do you think about it? I'll be glad if somebody can talk about it. So an apple of someone's eyes is someone who is, you know, cherished too much by somebody. To be someone, okay, somebody is sharing Thank you for your thoughts. To be someone favorite. Of course, this is the right one. It's very much relevant. Loved most or highly valued is what it means. Let's move on with some more idioms in today's session. And I would also like to tell you that the session might go even longer. Stay with me. Okay. Keep at arm's length means avoid becoming too friendly or too intimate, to keep a distance with someone else. Please see, I like to keep my office colleagues at arm's length outside of office. I don't want them in my personal life. So maintain a distance is what it means. Okay, someone's favorite. To be someone's favorite is what I think somebody was sharing, and I think the name is Manjula or someone. You can write your name. We'll be happy to take the names right in today's session. Let's move on. A hard nut to crack. So quite easy one. Something which is very, difficult. It could be a problem that is so difficult is hard nut to crack. For example, RIMC examination is not an easy task. It's a hard nut to crack. It takes a lot of perseverance and hard work to sail. So it's not a smooth sail. So I'm using some terms. Arnav Dwivedi. Arnav, where are you from? I welcome you at Defense Officers Academy. I think Arnav, I remember last time you were there, has been very enthusiastic about. Okay, then we have somebody, Sunil also. Mathematics turned out to be a hard nut to crack for students in the examination. A difficult task is what we understand. I am there in your live class. Okay, fine, good. Let's move on. Add fuel to fire. Very, very important. And this term is very, very common in many news and articles. To make a matter worse, please see, at the time when both the friends are not on the talking terms, please do not add fuel to the flames or fuel to fire by putting them against each other, making a situation worse is what we understand from this one. Okay, let's move on. A feather in one's cap. So this is very, very important, and you will find them in your exams. Means an accomplishment or achievement that one takes pride in, or something that you are very proud of. It could be all about your achievements, your success. Okay, he will have one more feather in his cap after he has finished this incredibly difficult assignment. So that is what it means. Let's move on. a bad hair day. One can actually see a day on which everything seems to go wrong, when nothing works. So it is something like, all at sea. I'm trying to use some other idioms. People sometimes say they are having a bad hair day when they do not feel very happy or relaxed. Let's move to some more idioms. A bad pitch. A period of difficulty. Shami is going through a bad patch at the moment because his wife wants a divorce. So one can see a bad patch. We all go through bad patch in our life, but we need to continue working towards achieving success. So bad patch is a period of difficulty. I want the viewers to use them in your own sentences. A bad patch. I'm looking for your answers. If you can use in your sentences, not through Google or any other sources, but on your own. A bad patch in life is not the end of the road. It is an en route to success. You can understand this way also. Let's move on with some more idioms. I think for today we will keep the idioms till here only, and seeing your worst nightmare would be a bad patch for you. Okay, so I wish to share that we have more idioms which I'll be sharing in the fourth session that we'll be having. So I hope you had a good time with us today. Thank you for being there, and we shall meet in our next class, where I'll bring a lot of relevant idioms and even phrases, so that we'll continue with our vocabulary session. And at the same time, I wish to request you all to kindly visit our numbers which are flashing behind me. The WhatsApp number is right there, and of course the Telegram and the other routes that you can connect with us. Thank you for watching, and wish you all the success for the next exams. Thank you.